and thank you for attending the 2023 edition of the War and Peace Seminar. As you know, this year is dedicated to the complex relationship between China and the United States and how we can avoid bipolar confrontation.
The aim of the conference is to analyze the competitive relations between China and the United States.
The United States today is a country very deeply divided. We know it. And the problem is that the only thing where they can agree, both Republicans and Democrats, is about how to get China punished. Even if they find an agreement to live together, both parties, the problem that they project into the rest of the world is immense.
We are full of uncertainties, the world is extremely complex, and we have dangers. I think what we need to do is to ensure that we think across, and we do all the efforts possible from our different positions to manage this confrontation. But I'm afraid we are there.
I think it would be naive to think that China would promote norms and practices and governance abroad that are very different than those that it implements at home. There is government-controlled media, human rights violations that now the United Nations has said may include crimes against humanity. The whole issue of international order and governance has become, I think, very central to the competition. It's not just between the United States and China. It is between autocracies and democracies.
China is very unhappy with the Americans' policy to strengthen the military relationship with Taiwan. Why we think it's a double standard? On the one hand, U.S. criticized Russia, support the independence of the Donbass in Ukraine. And also, on the other side, and the U.S. government provide arms to the secessionist government in Taiwan. So for China, the Donbass and Taiwan just the same secessional region.
We already have the confrontation, we see the consequences, but I think we can avoid that it degenerates into conflict. And we've heard that from both sides today, because there's several reasons why I think so. The most obvious is neither side is confident of winning. And people start wars when they think they'll win. That was Putin's mistake.
The extraordinary danger is the lack of arms control and proliferation. It's staring at us in the face, it's getting worse. If the Europeans can do anything to mediate, and they're very bad at it actually, between Beijing and Washington, they've got to put arms control back on top of the agenda. This is just so crucial.
I do want to sort of emphasize again that also Europe in itself is not a fixed entity. It's not static. Europe is transforming itself as we speak. I see Europe very much as a very reactive force, and Europe means different things at different times to different people.
The multilateral system can only be effective if people agree that it is better than the alternative, which is to act in the national interest. We will only get a new spirit of multilateralism once everybody understands that the narrow pursuit of national self-interest will lead us to self-destructive outcomes.
In essence, we're going to have to think more clearly and cleverly in terms of different spheres of global cooperation and governance. One smaller, denser one between Western allies and like-minded liberal democracies, one that seeks to bridge between North and South, and a third sphere of cautious and very limited cooperation, competition, and confrontation between East and West. Geopolitics won't be getting any simpler.
It seems to me that the conclusion of the conference is that the best we can do is manage bipolarity. The positive note that we can take home when we leave this room is that at the end of the day, global confrontation, and particularly global war, is not interesting for anyone. And if it is not interesting for anyone, it means that we can escape this global sense of confrontation and war.